In this video, we will go through Mute's loadout, where all you can use his jammers and some cool tricks behind them. If you want to see Mute setups by pictures on the majority of the rank maps, head on to my subreddit and its Wikipedia, link can be found in the comment section. Let's talk about the Mute's loadout. He brings a shotgun and MP5K. You generally want to take shotgun mainly due to the distraction. All of the maps require rotations and a line of sights. Therefore, having at least 2 shotguns in your teams is considered mandatory. On the other hand, if you have Smoke and Frost, she has a pocket shotgun, and if you're about to play on the positions that requires medium to long range fights, such as if you're holding Catwalk on the clubhouse, then maybe going for the MP5K can be a good thing. For the secondary guns, take SMG-11 in the all situations. Get used to it. Avoiding SMG-11 will not make you better SMG-11 player. If you want to get good with the SMG-11, you play with SMG-11. Going to MP5K just because you can play SMG-11 builds bad habits, and it's not a solution to your problem. As for the bulletproof camera versus C4, it heavily depends on your team's lineup, but C4s are considered better. What does Mute bring, and why is he nearly always a viable pick in the big boy leagues? Aside from the needing distraction he brings 4 jammers that disrupt any electronic gadget, whether it be Thermite's breaching charge or Ace's Selma. Drones, including Floor's drones, the drones that go boom boom, and much more. We'll talk about what all he counters in a bit, but your primary reason to bring Mute is to deny drones coming in, or jam 1 or 2 pair of walls from the car breaches and still block drones coming in your way. It's important to highlight how trying to hide the objective with jammers is a waste of jammers, because most people can figure out by watching surroundings what you are holding. Such as, if you see defenders reinforcing the laundry hatch, you can assume that the objective is in the basement. The power of the drone is that the takers have to go blindly, with no information. I forgot to mention, but the takers get alerted when droning that a jammer is nearby, by the static view. They also do a somewhat loud noise, therefore try to put them on the side of the door as possible. For example, put a jammer on this side of the game's door, so if attackers want to get rid of it, they need to go on the other side of the room and be fully exposed from all angles. There are 2 ways of using mute jammers to deny the drones. One is to set up them for your roamers, players that are usually playing off the objective, that their main goal is to deny attackers getting the required map control. This is probably the strongest use of the jammers, because imagine if you're an attacker and you cannot use your drones to drone out. Let's say White Hallway on Cafe. What you can do is push White Hallway and get killed from the Y stairs or by the hallway due to the pre-fire. Or you need to have someone rotate all the way to the window, which will take 20 to 30 seconds to start droning from there. Even then, that drone most likely will be popped out. So, using jammers for your roamer setup is strong, and if you're playing in a 3 or bigger stack, you can always do that. Another way of using mute is to have jammers in or around the objective. So for the execution, attackers have no clue where the remaining anchors are. They can only guess. Or you're jamming the important walls. For example, if you have blocked the intel on the CC cache execution and the attackers are pushing for the construction, the defenders can be on the top of the red by the melee or bullet holes, but as well as they can be behind the green box, standing, behind the bomb that is usually here, proning, but again, as well as in this corner, which is usually called radio. One drone from the takers will pinpoint the defender. One jammer can single-handedly win you the round, because as much as you have to pew-pew someone, pew-pewing them is a lot easier if they don't expect you. I have mentioned jamming walls, and that usually comes when you don't want to bend the trick, or you don't need 4 jammers to be used for the roamers. Mute can jam up to 8 walls, since one of the jammer radius can block a set of the reinforcements next to each other. Keep in mind that putting jammers like this gives just a slightly bigger radius, and it can mean a difference between an open hole or not, just how it will happen in the Pro League clip.
For Team Empire to be able to do that again.
Some X-Kairos go off, but the mute jammer there will prevent the majority of those pellets.
I think going back to the clubhouse, but this time at the defending gym at Belgium, can show you how jamming walls can be a smart play. Since you have a set of the reinforcement by jacuzzi walls, then another two for your roamers, denying this wall being open, and usually teams reinforce the CC to outside walls, that's something that Kite nor Bandit will be able to do alone. You can say now, but why would we jam it if it doesn't destroy the gadget, and the attacker just threw an EMP on it, or simply destroy the jammer? As much as this seems like a simple question to answer, it is a bit harder, because the same question can be asked for many other slightly more complicated things. I will talk about it in another video, but to give you something in this video, it is to stall the attackers as much as possible. Letting them walls for free versus forcing them to rotate one or two guys opening up the wall takes a bit of time. Jammers also can jam stuff vertically, but not below. This can be used to jam drones level above. The most common map you can see these jammers use is Consulate Basement. This security jammer fully blocks the double door between lobby and statue. Another reason that you may see elevated jammers is to somewhat mute hatches, like on this when muting toilet's hatch. Make sure to consider how hard breachers still can open up these hatches if they put their stuff on the side of the walls. Also, using a jammer just to deny the hatch being open instead of helping a roamer, make sure to calculate it well. To see if your jammer jams an area, you will get this icon next to the compass. Having said this, jammers don't jam below, and as you can see, when I prone, the icon disappeared. Before a bit more advanced things, what all can you counter as a mute that might not be as obvious as drones? You can counter Blitz, the shield guy that can run with his shield. He usually can use his flashes, but not in the radius of a jammer. Jammers also disconnects the Dokebi's ring. Or block it fully before it starts. This means if Dokebi calls you, just run toward the jammer and that's it. Sadly for the Lion scan it doesn't work that way. If you were scanned, even by going to the jammer, you will still be scanned. At least if you're in a jammer and remain undetected, you can move wise the Lion scan. Mute denies, Iana's Geminis. As well as jams, nomads, air jabs, and claymores. She also jams the Jackal's footprint scan.
You have dropped the diffuser.
But also can be a pain in the ass for the attackers that are trying to start joining in the jammer area. As long as an attacker is in the radius of a jammer, such as on the other side of the walls, they cannot be droning. Mute is probably the best counter to floors, as even if the drone gets activated before getting into the jammer, the moment it steps in, it will not explode. Have you ever heard of mute tricking? You can mute trick Kali, and to make it guaranteed, when Kali starts deploying her lines on the walls, you can already start putting another jammer by the wall. I will just give you a heads up that if you need a teammate to play with, we have an extremely active Discord server. Links can be found in the comments section. Where to play as mute? If you're having a shotgun, your go-to areas will be from where you can use your deadly CQB guns to the most. Under the stairs, such as by laundry stairs on Oregon if you have jammed the laundry hatch. Any gunfight you enter, you are in advantage. SMG-11 is also a deadly CQB gun. Your area is not just stairs, it can be a place such as toilet on the first floor on cafe, when dealing against piano attackers. Since them to push you, if the walls are reinforced, they need to get close to you. Speaking about the shotguns, I always recommend having a laser on it. You will see a 50-50 lasers on shotgun in the Pro League. But what lasers are doing is they tighten your hipfire spread. This will make you play these spots a lot of easier. ADSing will still make it a bit better, but not by much. If you're afraid of destruction, all that you need to do is to go a little bit back. You still can consistently make crouch rotation with just 3 shots. Or 4 shots if you want to make sure that it is vaultable. Moving left to the right when opening up will make your spread bigger, so that might help as well.
Gather intel on the inner site there, and they should have been able to get a good amount of intel. Problem is the execute is nowhere nearby, so the specific player positions are probably not going to be super useful, except for the ones they know are playing into a bunkered spot. This has allowed for Joystick to take that super aggro position, for example, and now is trying to leverage it to swing on Alabama, but he's ready for it, man.
Since you will be playing close by the doors, having your laser pointed by the door frame won't hurt you, since you'll be the one that will start the peak. Let's talk about the synergies between Mute and the rest. Mute and Mozzie are obvious in a good synergy, since you can block up to 7 entrances. I also have 7 setups with Mute and Mozzie combo on the set Reddit. Mute and Aruni also might come handy, since Aruni can deny drones coming from hatches or some windows where jammers cannot get them. For example, having an Aruni's gate by the office in the club when doing gym and bedroom defense can be pretty useful. Mute and Widget combo is also very strong. Final synergy with Mute will be the deployable shield with Mute, since Mute cannot jam the double doors, like this door in Oregon. One way of not using a shield and a jammer to block a double door can be done similar to the Oregon, having a jammer in the fontaine facing this way, and a jammer by the printer this way. They will jam the double doors fully, but as well as most of the hallway. Drones still can jump over on the hallway, but they won't be able to jump over the double door. With a similar idea, you can jam the entrance of Archives of Border by putting it by this side. It is super safe from the attackers.